Hello. So today let's talk about how small, repetitive daily habits may cause chronic pain and inflammation. Now, as a busy executive mom, you are no stranger to multitasking, typing emails while sipping coffee, picking up the toys with one hand, and your phone in the other, rushing between chores or meetings. And these small little movements or habits may seem quite harmless. However, when they are done repeatedly, and especially with a poor posture, they can lead to a buildup of inflammation in the body, and that can lead to other issues such as chronic neck pain, back pain, tennis elbows, heel pain, etc. Now, if your neck feels tight at the end of a day or after a long day or even during a long day, or your heel aches for no reason at all, or your lower back seems to protest every time you are bending forwards, it's not just in your head. These are the signs that your body is sending to you, and they are worth paying attention to. Now, let's explore more of this in today's video. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, I give you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. Now, those of you who are familiar with adrenal fatigue might know there's a lot of symptoms, but the ones that I had were low energy levels and brain fog or lack of focus. Now, when you have these two, it's very difficult to get through your day, leave alone managing your aches and pains. So, anyway, I'm here with my professional expertise and my personal experience to help you guide along your pain journey, hoping it's not as long as mine was. Um, let's not take more of your busy time because hey, we're moms, we're busy people. Let's get into the topic for today, which is how small repetitive habits can lead to chronic pain and inflammation. Now, as I was saying, it's the micro stresses. It's not that one big stress on your body, but it's the micro stresses that we do not notice unless it's a bit too much for our body to handle. And that's when your body starts to send you those signals. So, those small repetitive actions like typing, scrolling, even lifting your children or washing dishes in a poor posture can lead to those micro stresses on the joints, on your spine, ligaments, muscles, etc., basically on your body. Now, individually, they're not a big deal, but when they're done over and over and over again, say hundreds times or dozen times a day, day in and day out, they can trigger inflammation, nerve pain, muscular imbalances, in general, spinal and nerve pain. Now, your brain starts to think that this is your normal because when we repeatedly do something, that's how habits are formed, right? When you repeatedly do something, your brain starts to treat that as a normal movement or a normal posture, and your nervous system also adapts accordingly. Now, over a period of time, your body will then gradually lose the ability to move well, to rest deeply, to recover efficiently. So it's not just about those big injuries as well. Now, we talked about movement. Let's talk a little bit about those injuries. We often associate pain with big accidents, major injuries, fractures, etc. But for moms like us, that chronic pain and inflammation often comes from that wear and tear of everyday life. Like I've heard older women say, hey, I did a lot of standing when I was younger, when I was your age. I never took a break. And that led to all the wear and tear in my knees, and now I have arthritic knees. So you might have heard your mums or grandmas saying this, or the older generation saying this. So it's not really completely false what they're saying or untrue, really, if there's a word like that. So if you have that shoulder twinge, it might be from carrying a heavy purse on one side. You may not think too much about it. Maybe it's your laptop bag that you carry on one side. Or if you're like me and you carry the whole world in your handbag. I do that. So you can find everything in my handbag. So I carry a heavy handbag, but then I am very careful as to how I carry it because I just can't lighten my load. I have tried it over the years. It hasn't happened. So I am careful with how I distribute the loads in my handbag, how I carry the handbag. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. I think I've done a video on that and it's on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out. Anyway, let's come back. So when you have that lower back pain, maybe it's from standing with your hip popped out when you're holding your toddler. Maybe you are in the habit of standing on one side with your weight more on one side, and that's the heel that hurts. So it's often these little tiny wear and tear or these little micro traumas of every day that add up to those stresses that lead to chronic pain and inflammation. Now, I have written a blog on this topic. Let me just read out the topic of the blog, which is the name of the blog. It's called How Small Repetitive Movements Can Lead to Inflammation and Chronic Pain Over Time. Now, in that blog, I give you more information about inflammation, chronic pain, nerve pain, etc. And there is also a video on Are Your Daily Habits Increasing Your Inflammation? Now, that, of course, we are talking about it already, but that goes into more details and it shows you the solutions as well. However, I'm going to lightly touch upon the solutions in today's video. The very first step is awareness. So, once you understand what's causing your discomfort, you can start to shift your habits. The one question I always ask people when they come to me for pain, for treatment, is what causes your pain? Because if I am doing everything right, I'm taking my painkillers, my medication, I've done my scans, been to the doctors, doing my physio treatment, doing my exercises, but I always sit in this poor posture, of course, the things are not going to work in the long term. So, what is it that causes your discomfort? You need to shift that habit. You don't need those fancy equipments, hours at the gym, or you don't need to hire a personal trainer. You just need a few mindful tweaks on how you move throughout the day. If you're thinking that sounds like me, you're not alone and you don't have to push through the pain alone. So, first of all, is taking care of that. In one part of it is, of course, correcting your posture, not doing those repetitive movements, breaking it down. But a main part of this whole approach to resolving your chronic pain and inflammation is to address the inflammation itself. Now, there is a 11 days jumpstart program that's specially designed for executive moms to reduce your pain, boost your energy, calm your nervous system without adding more stress to your already packed day. If somebody gave me that a couple of years ago, I would have pounced on it. I would have grabbed it with both hands, really. But you can start with this 11-day jumpstart. It's a free program, of course, and I guide you along throughout the program. So have a look at the blog that I mentioned that I've written on this topic. The details of the 11-day jumpstart are in there. So let's get you feeling back to yourself again. Sometimes when we have pain and inflammation for so long, we forget what normal was like. I want you to feel that normal once again, right? So go check out the blog. I will leave a link in the description of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram or any other platform, I'm sorry, if you're watching me on Instagram, you can find the link in my bio. If you're a busy mom like me, or even not even if you're, well, even if you're not a busy mom and you can't be bothered to look for it, somebody like me. So shoot me a message, drop a comment below this video, and I will send it across to you. Alrighty, I hope that was useful for you. If you have any questions, any comments on today's video, let me know. I'll be happy to help you out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.